what's up? It's Danielle. So for today's video, I am back with something completely different. Now, don't get me wrong. You guys know I am obsessed with the ARC system, and recently I've decided to pursue a different aesthetic, I guess you could say. So this definitely follows in line with that, but this actually is something that I made totally on my own. You cannot buy this from Staples. It's what I like to call the ARC Mini. Now, they have an ARC that is smaller than the junior size, which, let me see, I don't remember what the exact dimensions are, but I did take a picture. Yeah, so it's 4.25 inches by 5.75 inches. So just so you can kind of get an idea. Now, working with weirdly shaped paper is not something that I enjoy. I don't really know anybody who does. And as you guys know, I'm not completely a DIY person, but you know, if I'm motivated enough, I can be. So that being said, I actually wanted this because I didn't want to have to deal with weird shaped, weird sized paper. I did that last year with the Filofax and, you know, the A5 and the pocket size that I had. And I ended up like completely cheating the system when it came to my pocket size, because I found that if I just used 3x5 note cards, it would work exactly the same way. You know, it's not quite as wide as the pocket size, but I still loved it. So I've been watching a lot of pocket size planner videos as of late, and you know, I love the idea of it, and I think I always knew that I would come back to this size. So that's basically how I found myself. Can't talk today. That's basically how I found myself here. Now, like I said, you cannot buy this from ARC, and the reason why I wanted to make this was because I wanted something smaller that I could take with me wherever, but I didn't want to have to deal, like I said, with the weird size paper. I knew it would be a pain in the ass if I had to keep going back to Staples, giving them more of my money just to buy that specifically sized paper. So I found a way to, like I said before, kind of cheat the system. And this I created specifically to hold the 3x5 note cards that I bought a million of last year when they were all on sale, and when I still worked at Walgreens and I had a discount. So I pretty much took ARC dividers that I already had for the junior size, and I took a note card that was already punched, and here I can show you guys better with one that's actually punched. So I basically used it to kind of gauge how I wanted the covers to be. So I knew I wanted it to be obviously wider and a little bit taller, just to kind of protect the inserts a little bit more. And I find that this works out beautifully. Not only that, but this gives me enough room for my dividers. So anyways, that's just kind of how I did that. I basically eyeballed everything, and you know, I have the same just black on both sides, but I do have with the, I think these are an inch in diameter, and these are the original rings that I had. You know, I do have the plastic ones still, but I don't like to use the plastic ones on any of my planners aside from the reference one, because I don't actively use that one a whole lot. But with this one, obviously I wanted to continue using the metal ones. So anyways, let's get into it. So for my dashboard, I just have this like burlap, and it's not actual burlap obviously, but it's just some scrapbook paper, and I liked it. So I liked it a little too much because my phone is actually matchy-matchy with this. Although in my defense, I did do the phone before I did this. So little known fact for you guys, you can just take like a clear phone case and then cut some scrapbook paper to size, obviously cut out the little camera, and then, you know, you can just change it up whenever you want without having to ever buy a new case. So that's what I did. And I like this because it gives it a little something, but you know, it's not like super crazy. It's a little bit more subdued, but it's still something that I like. So, you know, whatever. All right. I do take this with me to work. So I wanted to have a quote that would kind of remind me, you know, to think about like what I'm worth, because there are times when I'm working that I have my doubts, whether it's because of other people or it's just because of myself. And I just, you know, I need to have this to keep myself in the right mindset. So just a nice little quote, and I like it because, you know, it's nice and simple, and I tried to be cool and I tried to write in cursive, but I forgot that my cursive looks like a fourth grader wrote it. So that's why I kind of switched to print afterwards, but I don't know, I still kind of like it because, you know, it's me, so whatever. So let me talk about my dividers. These are actually laminated pieces of plastic that I cut down to size. And I was able to punch them because the plastic isn't that thick, but I was talking to my cousin because I was having a lot of issues with making the dividers for this thing. And what I originally did was I took I took the pocket dividers that I had from Filofax and I traced them to, you know, make this. And this didn't end up working out because it's a little bit too short on the bottom, and I didn't like that, even though it did have the tab. And I couldn't get the tabs to sit the way that I wanted them to either. So these are literally just, might as well be, you know, plastic page protector things, or, you know, vellum or whatever, but it's literally just laminated plastic, and there are no tabs on these, which I'm perfectly okay with. I know that would bug a lot of different people, but I think it'll have them hold up a little bit longer without the tabs. So I'm okay with that. The length is still not completely correct, but I've gone through, this is like my third set of this is my third set of dividers for this particular planner, and I'm tired and I don't want to make any more, so I'm just going to stick it out. So anyways, as you guys know, I do not like to label my dividers, so I just have, you know, another sticky note. So these are my categories. I have daily, weekly, monthly, and forward planning, ramped up and planner prep, and then I also have notes and reference, and then the last one is shopping, because like I said, this thing goes with me everywhere. So this is the first section. It's just my weekly, daily, and I have this paper clip that I believe I got from TJ Maxx last year, or maybe I think it was TJ Maxx. Yeah, it came in a set, and I like it. You know, kind of goes with my whole theme that I'm working with now. So I am doing minimal stamping in this planner, just like I am with my junior size, and you know, all I'm doing is stamping the days of the week, and primarily I try to keep to-do lists of things that I have to do outside of my apartment, but I don't know, I tend to think differently when I work in this planner versus when I work in the junior. So I end up just putting all my to-dos in here and then just transferring them, you know, so it kind of get, you know, between both of them, I have all my to-do lists, but still highlighting things as I complete them with a mild liner. So I actually ran out of room to write down my to-dos last Wednesday. So I just took another note card and I continued it on there. So these aren't necessarily time sensitive. This, you know, was all the stuff that I wanted to get done that day, but I basically just turned it into like a running to-do list. So I actually need to move this over, and it's still kind of the same in the sense that I have a, you know, next week section. So I do like that respect, or I do like it in that respect, but actually I just remembered I don't have that in my junior inserts. I have it on the to-do list, you know, like the categories page, but I don't have it on the actual inserts. So it's a little bit different, but I do like having this just because, you know, it's like current and then it's like forward. So yeah, just a reminder that I need to, like, I have to start paying off my other student loans in October. I'm covering this up, but this is the task page. It's literally the same thing as what you guys see in my junior size, so I'm not going to go over that, but there's also some like video things that I might want to do. I'm kind of toying with the idea, so I didn't want to share that just because it's slightly confidential right now. So anyways, I do still have the next week section on there though. So I made this, it's just another, you know, chunk of that same, I can't talk today. Another chunk of that same exact scrapbook paper. And I just turned it into a bookmark, and I did not realize it until I saw it in this frame that it's a little bit wonky, but I think I'm going to leave it just because I'm trying to teach myself to not be such a damn perfectionist. So this just acts as kind of like a bookmark. And then everything else is essentially the same. So if you haven't been with me for the past couple videos, or if you didn't watch my most recent plan with me video where I planned for the month of September, I actually started making my own stickers. And when I say making them, I mean that in the loosest, you know, sense possible. So I basically take these stickers from Avery and I take my stamps and I just stamp on them. So it's super simple and I don't have to buy any crap, which is nice aside from those stickers. So I made a couple of them and I keep them in my junior size, but I do use a few of them in here. And this is one of them. It's just like a little nurse's hat. And I just put my appointment time for when I, you know, have my doctor's appointment. So pretty straightforward, I think. Let me just put that back in there. So that's, you know, it's not even Monday yet, but I still have this week ready to go. So this next section is my monthly / forward planning section, and kind of the same idea as what I did in my junior size. A little bit different though. So I do have all the way through the end of 2018 as well as all of 2019. And I just used a stamp that I already had, and, you know, basically this is like my monthly. So I just have, you know, what's going on, and then I try to have it go in order, but there's things that I tend to forget or they just kind of pop up randomly, so I have to add them in at the end. And then, you know, I'm also writing in when I had my last period, just, you know, so I can kind of keep track of that. And this is also something new that I'm doing. So for every month, I want to have like a highlights type thing. So just so that I don't forget. So for August, you know, I signed my new lease. I had training for work. I finished my produce bag, like for crochet, which I'm probably going to show on Instagram. And then just another reminder that that's when I had my period. And then I also hit my 9 months at work. And then, you know, once we end September, I'm going to put in the highlights for September. So like I said, I do have through the end of 2018. And then before you get to the 2019 months, I have this, which is just like a list of events that are going on next year. So far all that I have is my high school friend's wedding in July. And then I also have, I hit my 2 years at work next November. So that's really insane to think about. It's kind of creepy. And then this section is actually, like planner prep, and it's also my RAM dump. So a lot of people don't call it RAM dump. I just call it that because of the inserts that I have that pertain to that. But it's basically a brain dump area. So this is everything that I have. And I really wanted to have this with me on the go because I tend to think differently when I work with different size planners. So I don't know if you guys are like that, but I definitely find that I am. I tend to be a little bit more creative, I think, when it comes to smaller size planners like this versus when I have bigger planners. I don't know. It's just something that I'm finding out. So obviously, as I accomplish things, I highlight them, and I have a variety of different things on here. Just, you know, it's the purpose of, you know, having a RAM dump or a brain dump, whatever you want to call it. So the next page I can't really show because it's something confidential, but it has to do with planner stuff. And then this next section is actually like a notes and reference section. So I, as you guys know, do like a million and one different crochet projects at the same time generally. So I'm keeping track of the patterns in here. And then I have a when did I last list, which I haven't done this in forever. So when did I last buy toilet paper, buy foil, sterilize my menstrual cup, you know, that kind of stuff. And then I totally stole this from some girl named Maddie L, who I've seen a few of her videos, but I don't necessarily follow her, but I like her aesthetic. So, you know, but it's just like downtime productivity stuff. And then I added a little bit of my own. This section is strictly for work. And I did not intend to, actually, I just thought about it. I don't even think that I have this section on that post-it in the front. But this is, you know, I take this with me to work. So it makes sense to have like a work section, I guess. So these are things that I don't want to forget about, which I actually need to add to this. And then this is kind of like the tasks that I have, like for the week, for the month, and then for the day, or yeah, every day. And then this next section is just like for shopping. So basically like groceries, and you know, these are things that don't necessarily need to be purchased right now, but I want to get, you know, they're a little less time sensitive or they're more time sensitive. It just kind of depends on what's going on. And then I have a list of my regular grocery items. I've done this in the past, but I stopped it just because I didn't really feel the need to have it. But I'm kind of glad that I do have it again. So there's not a whole lot that I buy, but you know, I pretty much eat like a little kid all the time. Just a lot of sandwiches with the occasional like balls to the wall meal. But for the most part, I'm lazy. So there's that. And then the rest of this is all like note paper. So I have some blank note cards, and then I have a lot of the grid style. I love the grid style. And that's basically it. The only things that I'm not sharing with you guys in here are addresses of like places that I want to go to, people's addresses. I don't have that many in here just in case it gets lost. But, you know, things of that nature. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. The last thing that I want to show you, let me just take this out because you're not going to be able to see that page anyways. The last thing I wanted to show you guys was my pen holder. And you've probably seen this like before in the planner community. I'm sure you have. But I'm going to do a video on how to make these because I think it's really helpful. So I made mine big enough to hold a mild liner and my favorite pen, the Papermate Inkjoy Gel 0.5. So there's going to be a video coming up on how to make that, at least the way I make it. But yeah, I'm very, very happy with this planner. It's totally perfect because it actually fits beautifully in my hand. My hands are huge, by the way, but as you can see, it does fit pretty nicely. So I think that's pretty cool. And this thing has already been such a great help to me. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I will talk to you all in my next video. Bye, guys.
We are getting